What's going on, everybody? So today I'm going to be talking about love after lockup. All right, and if you're not yet part of the family, definitely make sure that you go ahead and hit subscribe, join the family. All right, and you can hit that like button if you like what you hear. Let's talk about it. Comment down below. All right, so now let's first talk about Rick and Radine. They didn't have all the couples today. And I feel like Chance and Taylor, they didn't really talk too much about them. Well, I mean, I guess like they normally always miss one couple out of every time they do these types of things. So anyway, so Rick and Radine, so they were having a good time. They had like a little motorcycle ride. They went to a store to go get some stuff. And I mean, they seemed like they was okay for a little bit. She seemed a little gold digger-ish. She said that she's like a Gucci girl because she likes things that cost a lot. But I feel like he probably spoiled her that way. So that's what she's used to. Because she don't seem like no Gucci girl. Like at the end of the day, like, do y'all see her? I mean, I'm not saying she's ugly or anything, but I can just tell, like, unless she was stealing, like, she doesn't seem like the type that's like, oh yeah, I'm a luxury type of female, you know? That's just my perception looking. I could be totally wrong, but that's just kind of like what I see. And I feel like perhaps because this is the relationship that he kind of showed to her, I'll get you whatever you want. How much is it? I'll pay for it. That's what she's used to now, so that's what she expects because that's what he showed her. That's just how it is. So anyway, they did have a little bit, she wanted like a $600 jacket so that she could be part of the biker crew. He's like, you know, we still gotta eat at the end of the day. Like, yeah, you can get stuff, but you can't get whatever you want. Like, you know, I still got bills to pay, I still got things to do. This could put him in a little bit of a deficit, so he ain't want to do that. I mean, he just spent all his money for her lingerie and all that stuff last time. So he said he spent about $1,200 on her so far. So, I mean, he's definitely putting money out there. And that would have been a whole bunch of, that's like coming close to the $1,200 right there. You know what I'm saying? So at least he was able to tell her no, you know, and she ended up getting a lower costing jacket, but it was still kind of up there in price range. It was like $250. I mean, what happened to $100? I mean, are you literally going on the bike that much? You know what I'm saying? But it is what it is. And so they were cool as far as that, but then they had like a little side thing, and he's bringing up the whole K thing because obviously this is a thing that bothers him. He wants to be her number one pick, not her number two, because he sees how she is with her as opposed to how she is with him, you know? I mean, but he does have to remember they've been locked up for a while together. They've created a bond as opposed to the two of them. They've just kind of been like pen pals / virtual friends type of situation. So it's definitely different. You know, it's something that she kind of has to get accustomed to. So now we learned in the last episode that she's more than just a comfort zone to her. She's also her wife. Like, I don't know if it's official, if they just call her the wife, but she said that that's her wife. I even noticed today, which I don't know if she's had it every episode or not, but she's wearing rings on her finger. I don't feel like looking back to older episodes. Maybe I will, just to kind of skim through. But yeah, did you guys notice that? Because I literally just noticed it today. Maybe because now my third eye is open because, you know, she done said it. Now I'm more observant. I don't know. But yeah, so Radine's father ends up calling her, and then Rick initially assumed like, oh, is that your pet convict? She got so livid about that, you know, so you can definitely tell she's one of those people that you're not going to talk about my husband, you're not going to talk about my wife, you're not going to talk about my family, otherwise it's going to be a problem and I'm gonna have to kill you, you know. And you can definitely see that her whole demeanor changed. She said that she was ready to punch him in his face, so she had to kind of excuse herself, walk away, and calm down and kind of regather herself. She did speak to his roommate, who isn't really feeling her, feels like she's using her, and called her out on it as well. You know, so she feels like she's not there for the right reasons and she's not treating him properly, and he has every right to feel the way that he feels, which I do agree. Like, at the end of the day, he didn't know he was getting into the situation, and now it's, once she finds out, she's talking about she don't want to be a bad guy. She's not ready for that, so that's why she's not telling him about the fact that Kay is actually her wife instead of just a girlfriend. Like, that's different, you know what I mean? Like, that means you really are number two. Like, there's no option for you to be number one right now, you know? Like, yeah, y'all can have your little trouble, but she's always gonna be the first one, you know? And he's like, well, maybe we'll see in 4 years. And she was just like, yeah, if you're even here in 4 years, because at that point she was just over the whole situation. I mean, I feel like he should move on because it will save him a lot of heartbreak and a lot of confusion and just anxiety and, you know, these hard conversations that she just doesn't want to get into. Now, Martell and Kaylah, I just feel like these two are a little bit of a toxic situation. I don't feel like their relationship will work long term, but I could be completely wrong. That's just kind of my observation, the way I'm seeing it, because Kaylah goes from 0 to 100 real quick. I feel like sometimes she is warranted for her feelings, but I also feel like Martell, he's not the type to really admit to when he's done something wrong, or he'll say it in a way that is more so, yeah, I'm gonna just apologize, or I'm gonna say sorry just because you feel this way, but I know I didn't do anything wrong. Like, he almost kind of acts like he's Mr. Perfect and he could do no wrong. So I feel like that's part of the problem there. So she was yelling and she was all like, I mean, he was telling her like, lower your tone, and it was just getting real like hectic in the car. Like, he even had to pull over for a minute, and she's just like, yo, like, I am the mother effing table. Like, I do literally everything. And you know, that's the problem, I guess, sometimes with one-sided relationships, is that, or like one person does things financially more than the other, is that they can always kind of be like, well, I'm the person who does everything. Especially if the dynamic is where it's like the female versus the male. Like, sometimes females, just because they feel empowered because they're doing everything financially, they will try to make the man feel small or insignificant. They might not even realize they're doing it, but they are doing it. And I feel like that's what she was kind of doing. You know, he literally just got out of jail in the halfway house not that long ago, and now you're rubbing it in his face that you're doing everything because you're upset with him, you know? So she said that he said a lot of the things that hurt her, but you also did the same thing, and then you kind of like emasculate him, and he probably was running the streets making mad money. Like, he even got gold for teeth and all that stuff. So, you know, to make him feel like he's less of a man now that he just came out, those kind of words can make you want to run back to the streets, because it's quick, fast money that is hard to come by when you're just doing a regular job or whatever, you know? So then she tried to like kick him out the car, but he wasn't with it. She ended up getting a hotel to kind of cool off, and he did have a conversation. Once again, it was kind of like that unbalanced, like, she apologized this time around, but he wasn't really also taking accountability, because he's like, I didn't initiate it, which I can agree with him. He didn't initiate it to a certain extent, but he kind of threw a lot of fuel into the fire, because at the end of the day, he didn't have to get his haircut right at that moment. Or he could have, I feel like they need better communication. He could have said, I really just want to get this haircut real quick. We can go to eat after. Or, you know, just, I feel like it's all about how you use your words. And their verbal communication is kind of off to me. Now we have Lacey and Antoine. So Lacey, she isn't really excited about the reality of the situation. She thought it was going to be fairy tales. He comes out and they're just like this amazing little two-couple family. And it was just going to be real, like, you know, real good or whatever. And it just wasn't what she expected. So somebody's playing something out there in the hallway. That was kind of distracted me for a minute there. But yeah, so it just kind of wasn't really what she expected. So when she was talking to her sister, she was telling her like the way that she feels. And then homie comes in and he got a new tattoo on his face. And she's just like, he's not even thinking or respecting me because I'm telling him that these types of things are going to make it harder for him. On top of the fact that he's like a ex-con, is like, this is just making it worse because now this is all people are seeing is like, these are like red flags. Like, it just makes you look like a convict or ex-con or whatever. So she's just like, what is he doing? He also went to go see his mom. You know, they seem like they have a really good relationship. They're like best friends. She seemed like she was trying to kiss him on the lips at one point. I'm like, dude, he's kind of old for that. I mean, I don't know. Some people have different dynamics in their family. For me, it's just weird. Like, I stopped doing that. I don't think I ever did that, actually, because I always thought about germs and just sharing germs with my kid. Like, I don't know. It's just, it was too much for me. But yeah, so he wants them to have a better relationship, which is what he told his mom. And what he's going to try to do is see if he can get them to kind of connect or whatever. So that's his plan as far as that. He wants them to have like a little dinner and hopefully get into a better place. His mom's health is actually declining right now because of all the drinking that she's been doing. So this is just something that he really wants. It seems like his mom actually wants him to be faithful because of the way she was talking, but she is a little like, what are you doing right now? Because of the fact that he said that he's still talking to his exes, and she knows her son very well. So she's worried that he's gonna start cheating and being unfaithful to Lacey. So it must be a little bit of liking to Lacey, because why would she even care if he's being faithful or not if she didn't have some type of respect or care for Lacey? Chance and Taylor, so Bobby's finally back. He told her that he wants to, well, he told Bobby that he wants to marry her sister, and she's not really with it. We'll see how that kind of unfolds. It looks like, I saw the coming attractions for the next one, and it looked like he was gonna go ahead and do it. So we'll see how that goes. Chaz and Branwen. So Branwen has a daughter. She's 19 years old. She's only spent a few years with her child, so they don't really know each other as well, because her daughter, she's been in jail for 11 years and her daughter's 19. So you do the math, you know what I'm saying? It's like her daughter knows her, but she never really was raised by her. Crazy enough, Branwen used to be a dancer and stuff like that, and now her daughter's doing the same thing. Her daughter doesn't do drugs, or, well, I don't know, supposedly doesn't do any kind of substances. And her mother says, you know, I know that you don't do that, but she's worried about her, especially now that she's going to be moving away to live with Chaz. So it's like, she doesn't know what's going to happen. They did have a really nice moment where she apologized to her for everything, just for being a not the best mom in the world and not being there for her. So they really had like a nice little moment. So, you know, at least the daughter knows how she feels, because sometimes we think that people know how we feel, but it means so much more when you actually hear those words. So yeah, they really actually look a lot alike. It looks like she's like a younger version of her, to be honest. So they all went out to eat. The two of the ladies, they got their hair done. But yeah, they went out to eat, and then ironically enough, her card, when they were paying for the food, Chaz's card got declined. So her daughter Erin stepped up and paid for the food. She's like, I was working last night, like, I got it, you know. But the thing I didn't like about that is that Chaz was like, oh, like, I'll give you a different card. Perhaps he just so happened to pick the wrong card. You know, from what Branwen says, he told her, like, he's still paying for school and he's paying for the mortgage on the house. So he has big bills that he's paying for, but he still has money at the end of the day. So the daughter paid for it, and then in the commentary, like, when she's by herself, she's all like, well, you know, I didn't expect to have to do that, and it, like, that kind of makes me wonder, how is he going to take care of my mom, and what else is he hiding? Like, damn, he just had one moment. Like, this dude has been doing so much. He bought her a ring. He's, you know, been putting money on her books. He's spent thousands of dollars on the mother already. And you see one moment and this is the negativity that you want to say. Like, it's crazy how people will judge you just based off a moment. You know what I mean? Like, and you're the one who, like, really stepped up. I mean, if he would have had another card that got declined, then yeah, that would have been different. But I don't know. I just felt like they kind of looked at him like so pitiful and just like he was dirt or something. Like, he wasn't worthy because his card got declined initially. Like, he was about to get another one. So I don't know. I didn't really like, and the mother was all like it was just so devastating to have her daughter pay. Like, your daughter is the one who kept on insisting, even though he tried to do it, you know? So I felt like they kind of tried to play him out with that one. So now Harry and Indy, they're the final couple that we're going to talk about. Harry, you know, he hasn't been around. Indy's mom comes to to see her, come knocking on the door like the police, you know. That bounty hunter came out of her. Open the door. So she opens the door. They have a little conversation. She tells her what's been going on with him and how he hasn't been around. She doesn't really know what's up with him. You know, he just keeps on talking about this Terry chick. So it is what it is at this point. So the mom has a little ambushed him and had a little conversation with him in the car, drives him around town. But I feel like the mom wasn't really giving him a chance because she's already, and he said that, like, she already predetermined in her mind that he was a piece of crap, you know, and that he's just playing with her daughter. So it's nothing he could have really said to change her mind and make her feel okay with the situation and say, you know what, Indy needs to stay here with you. There's literally nothing in it. But I do feel like she was kind of demeaning him a lot. She was calling him 17. He went in at 17. He's back out at 17. I mean, I could understand she was upset, but I gotta hand it to Harry, because for the first time in most of these episodes where I've seen him in high conflict situations or in moments where he was agitated or stressed, he usually lashes out and has to, like, kind of walk away. But I felt like he really held back with her. He really reserved. He said a few little smart things here and there, but for the most part, he was pretty respectful to Indy's mom and didn't really say anything. Maybe because he knows, like, she don't play that, and, like, she has a gun and she's, like, an official, you know what I'm saying? Like, she's a bounty hunter or whatever. So maybe that was in the back of his head, and he knows, like, he can't disrespect her, otherwise she's going to give him the same energy that he gives to her. So that could be what it is. Like, you can't disrespect her fully. You know what I'm saying? Like, because she's not going to allow that. You know, there's some people, you know, like, all right, I can say whatever I want to this person and they ain't going to say nothing back. Like, I can get crazy. But there's other people you're like, do I really want to do this right now? Like, it might not be good, you know? Like, because they're going to combat me and it's going to be back and forth. So it's kind of like pick and choose your battles. So I felt like he knew, like, all right, like, let me chill. I'm not going to get crazy on her. So I don't know if it was just solely the respect that it was Indy's mom, or if it was partly because of her personality and character as well. But he kept it pretty decent. Like, you could hear his little sarcasm, and you could see he was starting, like, I seen his face starting to change. So I'm like, yeah, I could definitely see it. And she ended up leaving him on the side of the road somewhere, like, for him to find his way back home. He probably going to end up calling Terry to come pick him up regardless. So he good, you know what I'm saying? But that was pretty much the episode, y'all. Let me know what y'all think in the comments down below. Laters.